Hey everybody, Jason Rivera here, in the first of what will become many podcasts or video podcasts or whatever you want to call it, vlogs, in where I'm in my daughter's car line. I'm going to be talking about value investing topics, how to learn better, how to improve your businesses, everything. But in this first one, I want to answer a question I've been getting a lot lately, is can you help me value invest in my country? Whatever country it is. I have a lot of viewers from overseas, and I always get the first question people usually ask, does this work in my country? Yes. Value investing, emphatic yes. Value investing, the principles of value investing work not only in every country in the world, but they work in just about every aspect of your life. You ever been to a store and wanted a certain shirt or certain food item, and then you ended up getting something else at a cheaper price, or getting it somewhere else at a cheaper price? That is essentially value investing right there. I will say one caveat to this entire discussion, though, is that value investing should work in every country, but there is a large caveat to that, and that is value investing should work in every single country, but if you cannot trust the government and officials in the country you're in, then it will not work. For example, I will not invest in any company in Russia or Venezuela right now. Venezuela is pretty obvious, the socialism, the riots, and all that stuff there. Russia is a little bit more complex, but it typically goes back to, I don't trust that Vladimir Putin and his colleagues won't necessarily say, hey, we either don't like your company or we're just going to take your company over, and shareholders get nothing. So having said that, value investing works in every single country, there you have to be able to trust that the company will not be seized, will not be tarnished for no reason by government officials or politics, stuff like that. But yes, the principles of value investing work in every single country around the world, because it's not a set of strict, it's pretty much math once you get down to it, and the main goal of value investing is to find a bargain. Ideally you want to find a great company producing a ton of cash with very little debt, has a lot of future prospects that are great, but generally what all of value investing boils down to is you want to buy the company at a huge margin of safety, which is another word for I want to buy an undervalued asset or undervalued company. That doesn't change no matter where you're at in the entire world. And these principles, again, work wherever you're at in the world, with that one caveat I talked about earlier, where you have to be able to trust government officials in the country. Other than that, I can't think of a country where value investing wouldn't work. I know value investing is huge, not only in the United States, but in certain parts of around the world as well. India, a huge value investing following in India. Parts of Southeast Asia, Thailand, Vietnam, Singapore, there seems to be a good deal of value investors. Parts of Europe, Western Europe, seems to be a good part of, or a good portion of value investors in Western Europe. I've talked to several value investors in South America. I've talked to several value investors in Africa. These principles, again, so that's every continent that there is people on, that I've talked with people all over the world where this works. Philippines is another country where I've had a lot of people talk about value investing. Taiwan, China, again, could be in that caveat place, and I wouldn't necessarily. I've only bought one Chinese company in the 5 years, and that was selling. Again, it's just the exception proves the rule. I've owned a company now for several years that I recommend to press on research subscribers in China. I haven't bought in China before this in 5 years, and I haven't bought in China since. And so I've only bought one Chinese company in now 8 to 10 years. And the only reason I bought them was because they were selling at, if I remember correctly, a 70% discount just to their net cash on their balance sheet. So again, now they're up. Since I bought them and recommended them to subscribers of Press on Research, they are up, I think, something like 200 or 250% since I recommended them. So again, the exception in this case proves the rule that value investing works throughout the entire world. Even in a country, and China is getting progressively, or at least in certain arenas, getting progressively more capitalist and opening up their books and being more transparent, at least in certain aspects of what they do. But again, you have to be, the general rule is it should work in every country, but you have to be able to trust the country officials not to take over the company and give shareholders nothing. But even then, if you buy at such a huge discount, it's only selling at something like 70% cash of its net cash, not even just its cash, it's net cash. And then I still made the decision to buy, and now it's up 250%, something like that, last time I checked. Again, there are backups. In this case, I treat it like a Benjamin Grab company, where I only put 5% on my portfolio and the portfolios I manage into that investment. Normally, I'm in the range of being more concentrated, and I usually put the portfolios I manage into, it just depends on the company and their competitive advantages and stuff like that, their cash flow, balance sheet. There's a lot of different factors, but in general, I have every investment I do is at least 10 to 20% in. I put 10 to 20% of the portfolios I manage into a single investment. It has been as high as 40% when I've been super confident about an investment that I thought was going to do great. So that ranges, there's a wide range, but you need to be cognizant of, yes, there is this huge undervaluation in this country where they are having, or they have in the past had, possible corruption issues, transparency issues, accounting issues, stuff like that. So even then, even though I was selling at only 70% cash, normally if I saw something that was doing that, I would put 20% at least of the portfolios I manage into that investment. In this case, because of the potential issues in China, or the past issues in China with some smaller cap companies, I only put 5% of my portfolio into that investment. Again, I want to reiterate, because I get it on almost a daily basis on some of my advertisements, my posts, anytime I talk to anybody from overseas or who wants to invest in something overseas even, does value investing work throughout the entire world? And I can answer that as an emphatic yes. I look at companies all over the world. As of right now, I have 23 different countries on my represented on my watch list. And yeah, again, I can say it's an emphatic yes, that value investing, as long as you use your same strict discipline processes and you're ultra patient and waiting for the so-called fat pitch, what Warren Buffett calls it, yes, value investing works throughout the entire world, no matter what country you're in. I hope this was helpful. I'll talk to you next time in this next podcast, vlog, whatever you want to call it. If you want to help me kind of name it, let me know in the comments. Right now, I'm thinking about naming it. Me and my team are thinking about naming it Value Investing in Your Car, since I'm in the car line waiting for my daughter to pick up my daughter from her school, my oldest daughter from her school. But yeah, if you have a name, let me know in the comments below, and we might pick it. Thanks. Have a good day. Bye.